Hi, this is Mr. Ward. I'm going to do a much shorter version of the video on the standard form. You should watch the other one for more in-depth information, but here's the basic standard form. AX plus BY equals C, where A, B, and C are just integers. A is positive, and A and B can't both be 0. So I'm going to ignore this demand for sliders right now. So I'm going to just set up a couple. 3x plus 4y equals 12. And what you'll notice, you might notice immediately that I've got x and y intercepts. I'm actually going to change that to 24 because I don't want to trick you on something here. So here's my x and y intercepts. Well, this is the big utility of the standard form, is it allows you to very quickly graph something. What I can do is I can say x is 0. When x is 0, I can find out what y is, and that will give me the y-intercept, because the y-intercept is what y is when x is 0. And I can do the opposite. If I make y 0, I'll find the x-intercept. So let's do that. You've already seen up here that the y-intercept is 6 and the x-intercept is 8, but let's see where that comes from. So I'm going to make y 0. Okay, so y became 0. And when y became 0, I don't care about 4 times 0. That whole y term is gone. Okay, so 3x will now just equal 24. So x will equal 24 over 3. And you might notice that the x-intercept is just equaling this value divided by this value. That's the thing that's multiplied times x. So it's 8. That's the x-intercept. And then the y-intercept, if I turn x into 0, because x is 0 on the y-axis, I don't care about 3 times 0. I don't care about the x term. All I care about is 4y equals 24. And so y is going to equal 24 over 4, which is 6. And that is in fact the y-intercept. The y-intercept is in fact 6. So there it is, 0, 6, and 8, 0. So you can really quickly find the x and y intercepts for a line using the standard form. And then you can also figure out the slope pretty quickly from those 2 points. So from 6 down to, from this point, going down 6 and over 8, we would have a slope of negative 6 over 8, which is negative 3 over 4. And I want to bring us back to our equation that, see this 3 and this 4? The slope actually can be found directly by just saying 3 over 4 and getting its opposite. So let me lay out some basic cheat codes for you. This is the standard form. AX plus BY equals C. Okay, A, B, and C are just numbers. We have a formal name for them. They're called coefficients. That's a coefficient of x, a coefficient of y, and this is the constant coefficient. Coefficient of x means the number that's multiplied times x. Coefficient of y means the number that is multiplied by y, and a constant coefficient is just a standalone number that isn't particularly multiplied by anything. So the x-intercept, which we use a lowercase a for in linear equations, is just going to be the c over the a. And you should write this down. This is a cheat code for you. The y-intercept, which you use the letter b for, remember y equals mx plus b, is just going to be c over the y coefficient, which is b. And slope will end up being negative a over b. So you take the x coefficient and divide it by the y coefficient, the x coefficient divided by the y coefficient, and then you get the opposite of that. And that'll give you the slope every time for standard form. Standard form, get the X and Y intercepts, and draw a line through it. That'll allow you to graph it. On the testing out, you will need to do that. You will need to create, come up with a line that goes through 2 points. I will do that one time here. Let me go ahead and get back to this. So I'm going to create an equation. It's going to be 5x, make it disappear so I don't give it away, 5x minus 8y equals, we'll make that 80, okay? I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit for this, but what I can immediately do is I can work out that if x is 0, I can get the y-intercept. So the y-intercept will be from simply negative 8y equals 80, and that means that I'm going to have a y-intercept at 0, 80 times negative 8 is negative 10, okay? And then I can get the x-intercept by saying y is 0. So when y is 0, I'm just 5x equals 80. So that means to find x, I've got to do 80 divided by 5, and that's 16, 0. And so now I have x and y intercepts. Let's label them so they're identified. And now I can just draw a line through those 2 points like that. I should use a different color. I'm going to just erase all this stuff so it's not distracting. And then I can actually just use the same color I had. Okay, so I'll draw that line. I'm just going to draw a line through these 2 points. It's not the best line. Ideally, you would use a straight edge if you were doing this on paper or a ruler of some sort. Now let's turn that line on and see if I did it. And there it is. Reasonable job of it. It's the best straight line you've ever seen drawn, I'm sure, without a straight edge. At any rate, so that is the line. It goes right through 0, negative 10, and 16, 0. All you need is 2 points and a straight line through them to graph a linear equation. Standard form makes that easy. I'm